Actiware provides lots of options for exporting data, and several of these things are impacted by some of the settings you make in what's called tools and options. Now, in another video, we've handled the statistics table, which is really telling you what statistics are going to be included in your export. But the export tab under tools options is going to drive, which types of intervals are going to be included in your export, and then have some specific information about some formatting issues for either combined or individual export files. So real quick, what I just did is I accessed the Tools menu and selected the Export tab, and then I have a couple of things I can change. I can actually turn on and off the ability to control individual intervals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show the selected interval types. I want those interval types to be in my export, and I'm going to only select the sleep intervals. That's typically what most people want. They want the sleep statistics. They don't necessarily want information during the active periods, but you can pick and choose, and you can see all the different types of intervals are listed there for you. If you want to have an interval type column, so saying this is a sleep interval type column in your export, that can be helpful if you have multiple interval types to know which one's which in your export. You can check that particular box. If you go over to the combined export file options, you have some options to change some things about the header and about the column names. Single row header just makes it a little easier when you're bringing in a combined export file because they tend to be really big, and you don't have a lot of header information there, because if you do include all the header information about every subject that you collected data from in a combined export file, every device that was used to collect data, and every data collection session, that's a big header. So a single row header can be really handy, and that's typically a recommendation I make, is to go ahead and click that one. Database friendly column names are really nice if you're using like a SAS database or something, and you really can't have some characters or spaces, etc., in your file name, or your column names. So that's usually a nice one to have selected as well as far as combined export file options. Now, when you want to create a combined export file, you do have to go to the export batch wizard, of course. Individual export files also have some control. You can change how much of the header information you want to have in there. Full headers contain, like I said, everything about the device, everything about the data collection session, everything about the subject. Sometimes it's a little more than you need in your export. So if you want that information, you can select it. These last two items are really epic by epic, and marker score lists are really every data point that's been collected in the data collection session. So the marker score list, for example, is going to be every event marker press, every score that's been recorded by that particular subject during that individual data collection session. The epic by epic list is every value for activity, light, marker buttons, everything that goes into the device on an epic by epic basis. Typically, the only time you need that is maybe you're doing a comparison study where you're comparing the device and its outputting its polysomnography or something, but most of the time you're really not going to need that one. So most of the time I don't recommend that you use either of those. So that's how things are set up for this particular tab. Once you hit OK, that's going to be set the way it's going to work from then on out, and you'll have this controlling your exports no matter how you make them, whether it's individual exports or if you're doing batch exports, etc. So good luck with your ActiWatches. If you have questions, you can contact us by email at respironicsservice10@philips.com, or by phone 1-800-685-2999. And good luck with your ActiWatches.